Welcome back, everyone, to Prof. Dan Tutorials. Now, today we are diving into the latest USCIS policy updates on the EB-1 Extraordinary Ability Visa category. Now, there are changes that could directly impact your self-petitioning. If you have been following the EB-1 process, you know how crucial it is to understanding what USCIS is looking for in your petition. And now, with their latest guidance, there is indeed a fresh perspective on key criteria like team awards, past memberships, publication value, and artistic exhibition. Now, whether you are currently petitioning or considering an EB-1 application, I'm here to break down what's new, how it affects your chances, and what you can do to further strengthen your case. So stick around till the end to learn practical tips on leveraging these latest changes since October 2nd, 2024 to your own advantage. So trust me, this indeed could be a game changer for your immigration journey. So let's get started. For those of you, if this is your first time on this channel, please kindly push the subscription button. If you've been finding Prof. Dan tutorials on YouTube really helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Sharing is caring, so pass the content along to others who might benefit. I would love to hear from you, your thoughts, your questions in the comment section, and be sure, of course, subscribe. When you subscribe, you won't miss out on any valuable insights. Also, for all updates and more professional content, make sure to follow St. Daniel's Global LLC on LinkedIn. Your support means everything. So let's get started on all of these policy alerts, policy updates, latest updates for EB-1 A. Now, the first one we're going to look at quickly is just before I start, if this is your first time again, when you go to Prof. Dan YouTube channel, you will see a playlist. That playlist is dedicated to EB-1A or the EB-11 petition. So for those of you under this extraordinary ability category petitioning, try to go through that playlist and you will be able to see explanation about all the criteria needed, the kind of exhibit you can put in, how to even write it. There are a series of workshops there. What I'm just doing in this video is to look at the latest updates that in part 4 out of the 10 possible criteria that you can use under this EB-11 or EB-1A. And the first one is on the criteria number 1 as listed on the USCIS website, which is on awards and prices. What I'm going to do is we look at the previous guidance, we look at the new guidance, and I will share my own view, the benefits it offers. And I'll do that through the 4 different criteria and also look at the summary of it and see how we can go from there. So in the previous guidance, the focus was actually on an individual awards when determining if a person qualifies for extraordinary ability based on the receipt of awards or prizes. The interpretation really is intended to emphasize awards that directly honored the individual's contributions. That's the petitioner now, which made it more challenging for team-based awards to count towards eligibility unless the person's role within the team was clearly emphasized. So that was the previous guidance. But now in the new guidance, the update guidance explicitly allows for the consideration of a team awards under this criterion. Now, it specifies that as long as the individual is a named recipient of a team award, then it can be considered as evidence of excellence in the field. But The focus still remains, though, on the person's receipt of the award, not the organization or the team's receipt. So take note of that. Again, previously, it's always on individual award, but now team awards counts. And I will tell you, the benefits of this. Now, this change is really beneficial because it has broadened the scope of eligible evidence. Now, applicants who have been recognized as part of a team, such as, for example, scientific research groups, or let's say collaborative industrial projects and the likes, can now more readily use these achievements to support their EB-1 petition under these criterion awards or prizes. And that makes it easier for those, with team-based accomplishments to demonstrate eligibility. So yes, it is indeed a good policy update. Kudos to USCIS. Let's go to the second one, which is about membership in professional association. That is criterion 2 listed on USCIS website. So let's look at what the previous guidance says and what the new guidance and what benefits does it have. Now, the previous guidance often required that the current membership in a professional organization demonstrated that it required outstanding achievements as judged by, recognized experts. Again, the emphasis was typically on active membership, current membership, and the criteria the association used for admitting the members, and all of that. That was the previous guidance. But now, in the new guidance, the revised policy clarifies that both the past and the current memberships can be considered. Emphasis is on the past. Now, can be considered under this criterion moving forward. Now, the key factor remains whether the association requires members to have notable achievements in their field. But now, previous membership can also be used as evidence. Previous membership, that is the latest, alerts, previous membership. And then, what's the benefit of this? Now, the adjustment, this adjustment allows applicants to use again a broader range of their professional history to meet the membership criterion. Now, it can particularly benefit individuals who have held membership in prestigious organizations, perhaps earlier in their careers, but may not currently be active due to changing professional or geographical, circumstances, things like that. So if you had this in the past, confidently, you can use that for fulfilling criterion 2, members in professional associations for the EB-1 extraordinary ability visa category. Next is criterion 3 for this E11, which talks about published material about the person, previous guidance. So earlier, USCIS required that the published materials explicitly demonstrate the value of the person's work and contributions. This often meant that general mentions or coverage that didn't highlight the individual's achievements in detail could be insufficient. Now, the evaluation of qualifying media was highly stringent, focusing on whether the published material provided significant recognition of the person's contribution. That was previously in the past. But in the new guidance, the updated guidance removes the requirement that published material must demonstrate the value of the person's contributions. It now allows for consideration of articles or features that include the person's work, even if they are not the sole focus. Do you get it? So it includes your work, although in the publication, it might still not be your own, your work focus. We're talking about published materials in the media, newspapers, internet source, and the likes. The material must, though, still relate to the person and their work, but need not explicitly assess the person's value. So that's another big win for this policy alert. And then what's the benefit? This makes it easier for petitioners to meet the published material criterion, as broader media coverage or mentions that relates to the individual's work, your work, can now be used more effectively. It also reduces the burden of you having to show that every piece of published material offers a detailed evaluation of the applicant's contribution. So that's another big win for this policy alert. There is one more. Stay tuned to the end, and you would see all the benefit of this, and as that can, influence your petition moving forward. Another policy alert by USCIS is on criteria number 7, which focuses on exhibitions or showcases. Now, in the previous guidance for this one, well, it's just kind of putting more understanding to it. So the previous interpretation of this criterion for exhibitions or showcases was kind of, ambiguous. Now, why the dictionary definition of exhibition is broad, the criterion was often interpreted to primarily focus on artistic exhibitions. So that was previously. Now, in this new guidance, the new policy clarifies that the term exhibition in this context should be artistic. It should be artistic. So there are previous self-petitioners. They're under this criterion. I'm going to give you an example. Under this criterion, some people did like showcases of their research work in their higher education, in the institutions, things like that. And they use it as an exhibition. And some of these persons have received RFE saying that it's not artistic in nature. So that's the issue around this. But there is still a way around it. So take note that non-artistic exhibitions can still be considered, though, if they are part of a properly submitted claim of comparable evidence. Remember that beyond the 10 listed criteria for this EB-1A or EB-1's petition, there is also room for comparable evidence if you have comparable evidence. So my advice is that if your work is not artistic in nature, or let's say if it's not really an artistic exhibition, then don't put it under the criterion 7, but however, have it as comparable evidence. Let it be a comparable evidence. Then in that, for example, if you have a showcase of your research findings or technological demonstrations, it might be included under comparable evidence if you present it appropriately, and again, the benefit of this is the clarification. This clarification really ensures that applicants, self-petitioners, petitioners understand the distinction between artistic exhibitions and other forms of showcasing work. So take note of that. If you have artistic exhibition, show it under this criterion 7. If you don't, let it be the title comparable evidence, which is more or less like a showcase, So this allows individuals who have indeed participated in non-artistic exhibitions to still use this criterion by framing their involvement under comparable evidence, as long as it is well, articulated, documented, or presented. And that is that on this criterion 7. Now, moving forward, let me run you through summary of these changes and their impact in your work. Overall, the USCIS, this new USCIS policy alert makes the criteria for EB-1 petitions more inclusive and transparent, which is honestly a good thing because it offers now petitioners more ways to meet the evidentiary requirements. What are the requirements? This has given you more open doors, kind of. Now, the ability to include team awards, recognize the collaboration, the collaborative nature of many fields, which is really good. Considering past memberships allows a broader professional history to count towards eligibility. Again, easing the standards for published materials means that general coverage of a person's work can support their petition. And lastly, clearer guidance on exhibitions also help to delineate what can qualify under this criterion. So this is indeed a big win for EB-1 petitioners. Now, all of these changes indeed can make it easier for applicants to gather and present evidence, particularly those whose achievements have been collaborative or who have a varied career history. However, applicants must still provide thorough documentation and align your evidence. You must align your evidence with the clarified criteria in order to meet these USCIS standards. I will advise you for more details, access the updated USCIS policy manual. You'll find the link in the description of this video. You will also see all the remaining criteria directly from the USCIS source. Again, in the link you'll find in the description of this video. All of this is so awesome and advantageous, and I hope you can use this to your own advantage. Remember, EB-1A is still current, or let me say the EB-1 category. Remember, it's comprised of the EB-1-1, EB-1-2, EB-1-3, extraordinary ability, professors, and managers, respectively. All of this is still current. What it simply means, if you apply, you get approval, you can adjust your status. If you're in the US, you can start your consular processing. If you're abroad and you get your green card, you become permanent residents just like that. So take advantage of this. Take advantage of this. There are several ways to ensure that works out for you. And of course, thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I hope the walkthrough really helps you to stay on top of your petition. If you find this video helpful, press the subscribe button, like, share with your loved ones, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and the likes. All right, take care, and see you again in another video. Of course, reach out to us. Our email is listed there. If you need assistance, you need support, reach out to us, check our website. You can also see things that can be of help to you in doing this by yourself. Self-petition is possible, but then you still need, to consult. All right, all the best, and see you again in another video. Take care and bye-bye.